Hello everyone and welcome to my page, Messages from Venus. I am again behind the camera and welcome to, I think this is either part 6 or 7 of my tarot collection. Now I'm going to start off with this one. And this one, I think I showed it in another video, but I'm not quite sure. This one is the Animism Tarot, which I have trimmed and I cut it, and it's really tiny. Well, it's really teeny tiny now because I should show you with this hand. See how tiny it is? Because the borders weren't really borders, but then there were borders. It's just weird. So you guys can check this deck out on Etsy. Just so you guys know, this is the deck. And it's animal based, but it is based also on the Rider-Waite-Smith. I have used this deck plenty and it reads beautifully. And the reason why I started collecting decks, not because there's a frenzy of like animal decks to be collected out there for some weird reason, this is the devil, is because it was just on my wish list for a long time, and then I finally was able to get it. And now, ooh, you guys, I'm so horrible at like doing anything with a camera. I can't. But this is the deck, and there isn't, see, like the Ten of Wands, there isn't anything like creepy or bad about it. This is like the size of the like a little bit bigger than a Lenormand card after you trim it. If you don't trim it, then it's going to be a regular size tarot deck. But this reads beautifully. And it does bring a guidebook, which you can print out. So it's a printable guidebook. Then we have this one's a little bit more difficult to find. I think that somebody has it on their Etsy shop somewhere. The Animism Tarot, I've also bought it at on Etsy. This is the Roll-Rig Tarot. This is the guidebook, and it has colored pictures. Let me see, maybe I should. There you go. Oh. Okay, so it has the colored pictures in it. I don't know if you guys can see that with the glare and everything. Let me see if I can move it up. Oops. There you go. Okay, so it's a nice guidebook. Very informative guidebook. Very informative. Now the cards are absolutely fucking fantastic and gorgeous, but I'm not going to read with this deck for anyone but myself. This is the first deck that I ever gave an interview to, and that's only because I couldn't put my finger as to why I felt so uncomfortable, but it was only because oh, I hope this thing can focus. Let me see. Is this thing focusing? There you go. It's only because I couldn't read with anyone. It just felt uncomfortable. So I decided to do a deck interview, and it basically told me it was a crazy and that it did not want to be used by anyone else but me. It is gilded. It is about the size of the Fountain Tarot, if any of you guys have the Fountain Tarot. I found this one on eBay in a different language. I think this is German, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But there is someone selling the English version on Etsy, I've seen. Now, this one, I don't care that it's in a different language because it's kind of like a pip with really nice images and the astrological signs. And there's some keywords as to what the cards mean. And the guidebook, I bought it in English, so, and it has the pictures, so it's quite alright with me, and they just read beautifully. I draw from this deck every morning. I've been using it every morning. Look at the sun. It's beautiful and fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love it. Look at the imagery on that. The Rorik Tarot is one of those decks that is difficult to find, I feel. There's a very few of them out there, and you find them for a very hefty price. I, however, bought it for like the equivalent of like $20 plus shipping and handling, and because I got it from overseas, because for whatever reason I just couldn't find it in English. And then like a couple of weeks after I purchased the deck, I had found that somebody on Etsy was selling the English version brand new out of the box. I don't know how they did that for $15.99. So whatever it is, what it is. Next is the Angels Inspiration cards, or inspirational cards. This is a Los Caraballo deck. Oh, and I didn't tell you guys who created the Animism. The Animism Tarot was created by Joanna Chung, and she's a self-published deck. And the Rorik Tarot was published by, I believe his name was Rorik. Yeah, Carl Rorik. Just in case you guys are interested. Now, the Angels Inspirational cards were created by Los Caraballos by Adriano Buldrini. And this deck is only the Archangels, but they're gorgeous. And they have the angel's name in Hebrew. And it's not whitewashed. It's multicultural. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it really allows you to get to know the angels, and also tap into your intuition, because the angels just speak to you. If you're one of those people that wants to get to know the angels, and you don't want to message with the angels, you want the angels to just speak to you, or maybe use this as a meditation deck, this is absolutely fantastic. I have read with this deck for about maybe like 2 or 3 clients, and it reads beautifully. And I've created a spread that uses this deck in a very unique way. Not that I would never use it again outside of that spread, but it's just fantastic. It reads beautifully. And I edged them also. And esoteric, yes. Look at the back. And I've edged them. So that's the Archangels Inspirational cards. I also have the I hope I have the, yes I do. Okay, I also have the Cats Inspirational Oracle cards, and this is also by Los Caraballo. And this is, or maybe it's US Games. Hold on. No, this is Los Caraballo, and this is by Barbara Moore and Marco Turini. And this is the back of the deck, and these are the sides of the deck. The first person I saw using this deck was the Crackling Moon. If you guys want to go check out her channel, she gives amazing readings, and she does YouTube video readings as well. I've never had anyone purchase YouTube video readings for me. It's usually just like the video readings that I do besides YouTube, which no one has ever purchased for me, like I said, is the USB ones, like the New Year ones. I send them via video. I've gotten a couple of those, but other than that, they're all via email. So this deck is absolutely fantastic. It's to the point. It has the numbers, and it has a keyword. I just needed this deck just because I want to bring in the energy of cat energy into my life. Like, if I needed to ever, not needed, but if I ever decided to purchase or get in tune with any animal, it would be the cats. I would prefer a cat over a dog any day. So that is that. And I also use it as a companion, or I will be using it as a companion for the Cats People tarot deck, which brings me to just that, the Cats I think that's what the name. It's the the Tarot of the Cat People, and this is an oldie but a goodie, and it's in high demand. So I found it on Amazon for about, I don't know, $40, $30, something like that. And it does bring a little ugly book. You guys know I don't keep the boxes. I keep all my decks in sachets. I don't like boxes. I really don't. I just don't. But anyway, so it brings a little, you know, one of these ugly books. I mean, well, it's not ugly, but you know what I'm saying. It's like simple little white book. If you want to buy or purchase the deck in and of by itself. But this deck was created, instructed, everything designed by Karen Kukendall. I'm going to say that's her last name. I have not worked with this deck. It's fairly new. I have not read the guidebook at all. But it was printed in Italy, but it was this is a US Games. I wish I can find one of the cards. And it was done in 1984. So this is the backing. And when I purchased this deck, or when I saw that this deck was available, I was like, oh my gosh, these people are real. These cat people are absolutely real. And the story behind her creation is absolutely fantastic. So once I do a review of this deck, I will let you guys know of my experience, but I have not used it for anyone as of yet. It's a deck that I need to get to know, even though it is a Rider-Waite based deck. This is just fantastic. I've been leaning more towards like self-published decks, or decks that are a little bit more difficult to find. And this was one of them, but this was also on my wish list for a bit. And speaking of tarot decks that are difficult to find, if I can find just that you can look at something, see if I can find the companion book for this deck. And this deck is the Book of Doors Divination deck, an alchemical oracle from ancient Egypt. And I bought this, you guys might have seen this on eBay. I bought this on eBay, and this deck was created by Athun Veji and Allison Davidson. And I did a little bit of research on this deck, and it is accompanied with the Serpentine that Larissa gave me. I think that's the Serpentine, but it's beautiful. And it's its own divination deck system in and of itself. And I was looking mostly for a companion for the Nefertari tarot. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is unique. Not a lot of people have this or have seen it. Look at it. So each card has their own meaning, but you can definitely, via the image, read the cards intuitively. So it has the name of the god, or the Egyptian god, with a number and the image. And then it brings this dice. I have no idea how to use this. I have not worked with the deck as of yet, but it's one that I will definitely never give away because I already consecrated it. But not only that, I mean, I've consecrated other decks that I've sold or given away, but it's a gem. It is a gem. I mean, if you guys can find this deck, I recommend you to get it if you are into Egyptian quote-unquote mythology. So that is the Book of Doors Divination deck. I have not seen anyone review it on YouTube also. This is another deck right here. This is the Everyday Oracle. And Sacred Seed, she's here on YouTube, enables me to tap into the Everyday Oracle and to make a final decision as to whether or not I was going to purchase Marseille decks. I was having or Sybil Marseille themed decks or Marseille system decks. I was speaking to Larissa in a short conversation, and she's, you know, she and I were talking about purchasing the Marseille. She said she wouldn't. Excuse me. She said she wouldn't purchase it because she wouldn't use it, and I was thinking about purchasing Marseille decks or a Marseille deck just to have it in my collection, and then I started thinking to myself, like, you read playing cards, so why not purchase a Marseille deck? And the reason why I'm speaking about Marseille decks is because the Everyday Oracle would be a very good Marseille deck companion if any of you guys are interested in learning Marseille pip style readings. I have never worked with a Marseille deck, even though I'm about to show you guys that I actually own the Italian based one. But the Everyday Oracle is based on playing cards, and it's the Vera Sibilla or the Vera Sevilla Italiana. And this is, I guess, the Italian version of playing cards. So I've never read with a Sibilla, but I'm going to say that it is kind of like the same as reading with playing cards and Lenormand. So I will be studying that a little bit more, which probably won't be that difficult for me because I've did a 3-card pull from the deck and it just looked fine to me. It read just like a Lenormand deck, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. Now, the next deck is a Marseille deck, and I don't have the little white book with me, but I think it's called the hell is this? Oh, I think it is called the Italian Marseille. You guys will see. I don't know where this thing came from. Oh, this goes with the cat. I'm over here trying to figure out my mess behind the camera. So that is the back of the cards. And I should have kept the little book. I don't know where I put it. I must have thrown it somewhere. But this is the deck that I chose to get as a Marseille. Yes, they have Los Carabios. This is also Los Carabios publication. Los Carabios has another Marseille style deck, and it just didn't resonate with me. I was really looking into it, and I just connect more with the Italian deck, not just because of the colors, but because this is the closer representation or a replica of a Marseille style deck, and the colors are just absolutely beautiful. However, with this specific style, I did not learn how to read the cards. How I learned was with the Rider-Waite, the playing cards, and also I've learned a little bit of Lenormand sometime between last summer and now. Like a little bit more. Not that I never picked up the decks to learn, because I did, but it's not as in depth as I am reading with them now. But like I was going to say, I learned like with regular pips, like I'll show you guys the Oceanic Tarot. Is not the same system as this, even though it is similar, but the way you read Marseille and how the swords are, the cards and how they look are a little different. So that's that. Then I am going to, let me see, I might show you guys the Oceanic Tarot now. I have about 8 minutes to go on this video, so I might do a couple of more. So I have the Oceanic Tarot right here, and this is the guidebook. It's pretty easy, easy read, just like this. And these are the backs of the cards. These are the backs, yes. Let's see, I'm gonna show you guys. This set was written by, I think it was like 3 people, but it only has Jane Wallace's name in the front. But yeah, it was illustrated by Jane Delaford Taylor and written by or created by Jane Wallace. So it does have angels included in it, but it's mostly a mermaid based deck, and it is a pip deck, and this is a good deck for those of you who want to learn how to read pips, because it has the keywords at the bottom, even for the court cards, the majors and the minors. But I was introduced to this deck by Amber in Wonderland. Didn't really give two fucks about it, and then I had a little encounter with Yemaya, and she's like, this is the one that I want, and you're gonna go get it, because if not, then we won't tune in when you're using the other mermaid tarot deck that I had, which I gave away. So that's that. I'll do a separate review on this. I don't want to spend too much more time. This is the Earthly Souls and Spirits Oracle cards, and is a self-published deck, and it is by the artist is Terry Foss. You guys can go check her out on Instagram and Etsy, and I'm not quite sure if she has a Facebook. And the photography or the paintings were made by both Terry Foss and her daughter Sarah Foss Robinson. And this is the name of the deck, and this is self-published. This is the nice little extra card that it comes with. I had seen Terry Foss's artwork online here and there, but never really paid any mind to it because I didn't know that she was going to create an oracle deck. I edged it. But this is a deck that I use for myself and only for myself for the moon phases or moon workings or spells that I am doing or working with moon energy or water energy. It's a very witchy themed deck, and it has keywords up on top, very easy to read. It does not bring a guidebook because you can use it as you will. And this is the Earthly Souls and Spirits Oracle. And it also has a Samhain type of feel to it. So I'm going to stop the video right here, and then I'm going to do a possibly second and third video. Let's see how it goes for me. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Blessings and love. Bye.